Not just Taiwan, every country is searching for deterrence. But priorities differ. In some places, budgets do not matter. It's all about spending as much as you can, like in the US or Europe. But elsewhere, affordability matters. And that is India's pitch to countries in Africa: reliable yet affordable weapons. Talks are underway with countries like Egypt and Nigeria. They're keen on India's Tejas jet. Some background first. The Tejas is produced by HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. It is a state-owned defense company in India. Tejas is one of their most advanced offerings. It's a single-engine, multi-role fighter jet. It can offer air support, engage in close combat, also take ground attack positions. India is planning to make a large Tejas fleet. Last month, a new order was placed by the Air Force. 97 Tejas jets for 55,000 crore rupees. So India is buying a lot of it. What about foreign countries? Not so much. Exports make up just 1% of HAL's total revenue. The idea is to change that. More than half a dozen countries are interested in the Tejas. From Australia to Malaysia to Indonesia, at least 3 of them are in Africa: Egypt, Nigeria and Botswana. Now, India and Nigeria signed a defense deal in September. It's a $1 billion partnership. Same with Egypt. Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Cairo in the month of June this year. Before that, Egypt's President El-Sisi was chief guest at India's Republic Day, again this year. Many are calling it the second coming of India-Egypt ties. If so, its cornerstone is defense. Now, we've spoken about India's defense ambitions before. New Delhi wants to export more. But tonight, let's look at the African arms market. How big is this market? Where do they buy from? And why are they now turning to India? Let's start with the market size. In 2022, African nations spent close to $40 billion on defense. 54 nations, $40 billion in spending. The biggest spenders are in the north, like Algeria, Egypt and Libya. As you move to the interiors, the spending falls. It's a drop in the ocean compared to the US or China or India. I'll give you the numbers. The Americans spend more than $800 billion on defense. China spends more than $290 billion. India spends around $80 billion. And these are countries. But Africa as a continent spends only $40 billion, 40. So the market is small. That also means the buyers are smart. They will maximize their budget to get the best product. Which brings us to the second question. Where do they usually buy from? Mostly Russia. From 2018 to 2022, around 40% of Africa's weapons came from Russia. The US was second with 16% and China was third. But after the Ukraine war, Russian exports have slowed. Hence the opportunity. Countries like India and China sense a window here. And it's not just about the current market, it's also about long-term investments. Just consider what the Russians did with India. They started selling to India in the 20th century. But even today, Russia is the biggest arms exporter to India, also a strategic partner. So defense sales can help in more ways than one. And we could see this in Africa. Today, their spending is worth just $40 billion, but it won't stay there forever. As Africa's economy grows, so will defense spending. It's like a company-client relationship. As the client prospers, so will the company.